Thanks for being here today. We're going to call to order the regular meeting of the St. Louis Local Development Company. Can we have a roll call, please?
Director McCreary,
Present.
Director McGlown,
Present.
Director Gleek,
Present.
Director Seitz,
Here.
Chair Gilbert.
Here. Thank you. We have quorum. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes of July 11th, 2024. I think there was one subsequent change that everybody got the revised minutes for. Is there anything else? Any other change? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Director Gleet. Second, Director McGlown.
Been properly moved and seconded. Will you poll the board, please?
Director McCreary,
Yes.
Director McGlown,
Aye.
Director Gleek,
Aye.
Director Seitz,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. The minutes have been approved. First on the agenda is Resolution 24 LDC 12, approving the annual RLF plan certification to the Economic Development Administration. Zach?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
This is a resolution that is an annual resolution that we must pass to basically certify that we're operating the EDA funds from the CARES Act that we received in accordance to the plan that's included with the resolution. So happy to go on any specific questions that the board has, but basically that is the resolution overall.
And this is the procedures that we're following. This is what we're doing
Yes,
for this
correct.
particular program. So, and no changes from what we've approved before.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any questions for Zach?
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 24 LDC 12.
So moved, Director McGlown.
There a second?
Second, Seitz.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Will you poll the board, please?
Director McCreary,
Yes.
Director McGlown,
Aye.
Director Gleek,
Aye.
Director Seitz,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. Resolution is approved. Next on the list, Resolution 24 LDC 13, approving a loan modification and extension agreement with Freddie Lee's Gourmet Sauces. This is also Zach.
Yes, so this resolution is seeking to implement a period of interest-only payments for Freddie Lee's retroactive to May 1st of this year, and then also extend the loan by another 6 months with those interest-only payments. Here with us today are the Jameses, Freddie and Deborah. So I'm going to pass it over to them to kind of give you for them to give you an update on how their business is going.
Before they start, Madam Chair, Freddie Lee, we also talked to them about the receivables problems you're having with some of your distributors.
I'm sorry, Daryl, could you say that again?
We also tell them about the problems you're having with the distributors to provide product to like places like Deerbergs.
Okay, so what we're dealing with the distributor, which is Cohen. We deliver product to them, but they are slow in paying us right now, and we're having someone to start collecting those payments for us.
Yeah, and they're like 3 months behind making these payments to us. They supposed to pay us every 30 days. Well, they don't. And they had gotten us, one payment was $10,000, which really put a damper on us paying. And then they still continue to order product. I want to stop dealing with them, but they're one of our big customers that we have. So they slowly start paying us a little bit, 2,000, one month, and then they turned around and gave us 4,000. Well, each time they do give us that, we have to give it out. It's not pocketed money. We're trying to pay it out, who we owe. Well, they finally paid us that 10. Then they turned around and ordered another big order. And we're going through the same situation with them. So Cohen is really the one that's putting a damper on us. Snooks pays us very well. Fresh Time pays us well. We don't have any problems with none of the other stores, just Cohen. And we tried to go through Dearborg's without Cohen because it's the middleman, but they refuse to accept that. So if we want to stay in Dearborg's, we gotta stay with Cohen. So that's one of our biggest problems.
How much they owe you right now?
They're at close to 15,000, close to it.
15,000.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, and they are a middleman between you and Dearborg?
And Dearborg's, yes.
Okay.
Now, we having issues with the people who leased our sections of our business. One company we just had to eliminate. It was a store. And then now we have another one that's Lefty's
That's going.
Fried Rice. Yeah, they stopped paying too, so we getting ready to change the lock on that door. So that put dampers on us as well.
How are your margins? Are your margins good, or what kind of percentage are you marking your product up for?
Our margins are good. We're at 30% on everything. So our margins are looking really good. It's just, I want to say it's our growing pains because we've never been realtors, and now we have Heliker, which is a commercial real estate company that's going to be helping with our rental with our rental property. And then we just start talking back with our lawyer to try to get another lawyer that's going to help us with collecting our payments from Cohen.
And then she didn't mention, there's a lawyer's fee, so we have to pay him before he gets started.
So this,
So you're paying your suppliers up front?
We have with our suppliers, some of them are 15 and 30 days.
And then
So
on the
as
other
we get
side,
money coming in, we have to start paying out, because if we don't have supplies, we can't operate.
well, sure.
so what we're looking at here is the interest only moratorium for 6 months is really to give you a little bit of breathing room so that you're able to deal with these other problems that are all hitting you at one time.
Yes. And you said it right. It's hitting us all at one time, and it's just overloading us.
Are
your sales up?
What was that?
Are your sales up at a good level?
Yes,
Yeah.
our sales been doing really well. That's why Cohen and a few other stores have been ordering a lot, but like I said, Cohen is ordering more than everybody because it's in Dearborg's, and a lot of people like the ghetto sauce in Dearborg's.
Yeah.
So,
Madam Chair, if I may, I believe, and Chris can confirm this, but I believe they are current on the other loan they have with us.
Yes.
Up through June 30th, that is correct. They did miss
Yeah.
the smaller payment rejected in July.
How much was the payment?
How much is the smaller payment?
Yeah, how much is the payment supposed to be?
720.
Yeah.
720.
How much?
Did y'all hear that? It's in the seven something,
It's $726, I believe.
yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Are there other
So-
questions from the board?
I'm a little confused. I understand that there's a couple of problems. Is that right? One is receivable turnover on one particular customer. And there was another one about a real estate company. What is that?
So the building that we have a couple of units, and the people that we placed in those units with our previous real estate broker, they didn't work out. So we ended up doing evictions and hiring another company. That's what we just hired another company.
And if I may, you want to tell them that one of those tenants was a son-in-law?
Yes, was a son-in-law.
So both of them coming at once is where the problem is.
Yes.
Not having that income from that rental to help offset their payments to us.
Yes.
Well, I'm pleased to work with these people. I'm glad we're doing it. And I move to extend it for 6 months.
Is there a second to the motion?
Director McGlown, I second.
Thank you. Will you poll the board, please?
Director McCreary,
Yes.
Director McGlown,
Aye.
Director Gleek,
Aye.
Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Sites,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay. Good luck. Hopefully your attorney will help you get some resolution on those payments.
Yes.
Yes, good luck.
So gotta get that place leased out first.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
a good thing. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Next on the list is amendment to resolution 24 LDC 03 through the loan to RHPB Investment LLC. Zach, you're going to cover this?
Yes. So this is an amendment to a resolution that we approved a little bit back for Playtime Academy. This was the child care center on Delmar Boulevard, kind of just a little bit north of Forest Park. So as we were working on closing this, they had with discussion with the borrower, they had switched out one of the tenants that is that has the same ownership as Playtime Academy. So we are switching out the guarantee from the previous one into this new one to better reflect what we had approved from the board before closing this loan. So they have occupied the space. They're ready to move forward with it. We just wanted to present this to the board before we closed it, so that way we can get the right guarantee on the loan. Happy to answer any questions that the board members have.
Can you tell me who is coming off and who is going on? Either I didn't get the documents or I'd like to understand that.
Yeah, so the one that is coming off is Golden Years In-Home Healthcare LLC, and the one that is coming on is TRT Home Healthcare LLC. So they're same business model with it. This one is just a different owner, or it's a different ownership than the previous one, as the other one had two owners, with the owner of Playtime Academy and somebody else. So this one is just owned by Sharon Patterson, who's the owner of Playtime Academy. And
Okay.
so they will be occupying the space instead of the Golden Years one.
All right. So it's all the same owner, different entities. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
for the clarification.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the amended resolution?
So moved, Gleat.
Second,
There's
site.
Second Sites, okay. Will you poll the board, please?
Director McCreary,
Yes.
Director McGlown,
Aye.
Director Gleat,
Aye.
Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Sites,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay, amendment is approved. Next on the list is resolution 24 LDC 14, approving loan write-offs. This is Chris.
That's me.
Yes.
Resolution 24 LDC 14 is, as you say, a resolution asking for your approval of some loan write-offs. I've been threatening to do this for a while, but fiscal year is June 30th, and there's just the ones that are on the list just have to be taken off as non-performing. Just the background, the loans listed in Exhibit 1A, and we'll go through that, attached to this resolution are in default. Staff recommends that these loans be reclassified as non-performing assets for the accounting purpose as of June 30th, 2024, and written off. I like to use the term non-performing because borrowers, you hear write off and they think, oh, we're free of the debt. We're just reclassifying it as non-performing. While the loan will be reclassified as non-performing, collection efforts will continue to be made. The LDC expects to receive at least a partial payment of some of these loans once all collection efforts have been exhausted. As you know, as I report to you every month, we do continue to collect, and I track that for you, and I report to you that on a monthly basis. If you'll turn to the list, I'll go through them. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loans that have been on the list, all on the delinquency list, and all 8 of those we're asking that you write those off. There's the other 10 small business resource loans that I haven't had on the list individually, but I have reported to you that they are delinquent. Those are the part of that $5,000 grant loan program was our first initial try at helping those hit by COVID, the small businesses hit by COVID. Unfortunately, those loans, that program turned into a grant program, and those that came 6 months later actually got grants and they didn't have to repay it. These did, but they're still on the books. They need to be written off. So you're aware of every one of those. The only one that I haven't been reporting on is the downtown St. Louis investment. It was a loan that we actually did back in 2020. And the terms of the loans, although I can't even find the note. I know that there was a standstill until profitability, and it was either 3 or 5 years. Well, prior to that 3 or 5 years, they weren't profitable and they went out of business. And I'm not 100% sure if the loan has been written off. I can't find it. So that's why I'm bringing this one to you, to cover my back, make sure that the board has seen it and does approve the write-off.
So
That's
how
the
did we not have this on our report on a monthly basis? It's
my mistake. I thought it was written off. 2020. Again, I haven't done enough research to determine if, in fact, I did bring it to you at some point in time. I can't find it. I'm really asking you to cover me, and that it's a 20-year-old loan, 24-year-old loan. Linda's even gotten involved in some effort to collect. We've had no luck. Again, we're writing it off so that the auditors don't look at me and say, hey, you got a 24-year-old loan here, you haven't had payments, it should be non-performing. So I'm asking you that we pull it off, call it non-performing, and continue to pursue as best we can. One of the owners is Yaki, is that name, that Richard Yaki? So I think we have attempted to contact him, and we've had some communication with him, but to no avail at this point.
Who is this?
Richard Yaki, I think is his name. Am I pronouncing that right, Linda?
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, we have a loan file somewhere on it, right?
We do.
So you have a copy of the note, is that correct, Linda?
Yes. And again, this loan was from 2000. You kept saying 2020, but it is a very old. And there were attempts that have been made over the years on this, but nothing was ever resolved. And the note at the time was not written very clearly as to exactly what was supposed to happen on this one.
Madam Chair, if I may interject, the St. Louis Partnership CDC approved a RFQ for a collection agency that I can present or Zach can present at the next board meeting for your approval, and they can act as a go-between to try to collect these kind of funds.
well, we need something because we obviously don't have enough staff to go after all these things that have been not charged off, but moved, and so we don't do current collections on them. Sounds like a good plan. Are there any other questions on any of these things that we're putting on the non-performing list?
How many of these guys are out of business, Chris?
That's a good question. Linda, can you help me on that? Because I really don't know.
Well, if you're talking about the smaller loans, the small business resource loans that we gave out, those a few are definitely out of business. The rest, we can still follow up with. The Sagagi personal training and fitness, they're out of business. Concrete coring is closed, but we're still working with the borrower on that. Right now, St. Louis Apparel Manufacturing appears to be closed, but we will still be working with them. Excuse me?
They are closed.
F2F LLC is Fields Foods. That business is closed. Urban Chestnut we put on there, as you know, the problem that we've had with that business is still in operation, but we're still unable to collect because of the intercreditor agreement. But at some point we will, I believe, still get paid with that one. But again, most of this was just, I think, what Chris wanted to clean up for the auditors before they got ready for the next audit.
That's correct.
Any other questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved, Sites.
Second, Gleat.
Been properly moved and seconded. Would you poll the board, please?
Director McQuarrie,
Yes.
Director McGlown,
Aye.
Director Glee,
Aye.
Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Sites,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Resolution is approved. Next on the list is the status of accounts. Chris?
Thank you. I hope you all have the report that I sent you earlier today. It's for the month, 1 month ending July 31st, 2024. We had revenues of a little over $3,700 and just paid $33 for filing and recording fees. Brings your net income for the month of just over $3,700. Ending fund balance at a negative 66,000. Just a quick comment on that. The fund balance last year, prior to the end of the year, was 122. So you didn't cut it quite in half, but we're moving definitely in the right direction. Our portfolio consists of 82 loans. Well, it did prior to the previous resolution. Just under 11 million in principal outstanding on those 82. Below is the type of loan that exists in those 82. The in-house loans of 53, the small business resource loan, the SBA program. In numbers there to the left, and then the principal outstanding on there, 5.5 on the in-house loans, 33 as we just wrote off on the small business resource loans, and then 5.3 on the SBA program. Delinquencies, which has now changed since the resolution, but loans delinquent to loans outstanding is 11.11%, and principal delinquent to principal outstanding is 12.21%. Those numbers, of course, do not include the small business resource program. As we just went over in the default program, we've written off since March of 01, 88 loans, 3.9 in principal written off. That number, of course, will change. We've collected on those 1.2 million, 21 fully and 20 partial. And so our actual write-offs, our actual loss, I should say, 67 loans at 2.6, almost 2.7 million in loss. Aging is down below, just of the 72 loans that exist. That's where they are. The one was the trade lease, so that'll go away, and the 7 were part of the write-offs that you just did. So you see this next month, you should see all zeros in the column of the stuff in the current column. Next sheet is just the financial statement, and if you look at the very bottom, as I said, our fund balance in the negative, but definitely headed in the right direction, is at 66 as opposed to 122 last year. So a good thing. And I'm looking over to the right. What do we have? At the 152 SLDC payable. That is what we owe from previous years, and then the $2,500 for this past month, which you all committed $30,000 again this year, and $2,500 is 1 month of that. Next 2 sheets are the funds that we have and the commitments that we have to those funds. You have 4.2 million in loan funds available. You had some commitments prior to this month of 775,000. I did not put the RHTB down below. I kept it up above because the dollar amount, of course, didn't change. You just approved a guarantee, a change in your guarantors. Should we close all those today? We still have pretty close to $3.5 million to lend out. Next sheet just shows the detail of that. It's all in-house money. So really good news. We can move on something very quick. We get something in the door, I can write a check or wire money out immediately. And then the delinquency list, which is now, nothing exists on it based on the resolution that you all just approved. You wrote off the loans, and then the one was the Freddie Lee's, which we're going to re-amortize it to you, extend out 6 months. We will be current on everything. That's what I have.
Are there any questions for Chris?
But Kim's
I can-
kids, wasn't on the charge off list, was it?
What was it?
Kim's kids?
It is, Chris. It's under GTS Limited is actually the borrower on that one.
Got it.
Are they out of business too, or?
We've been working with them. It's kind of hard to tell what they're doing right now, but we do still have a deed of trust on the property. So we'll see what happens on that one.
I can report that we did have that meeting that was scheduled with Chris Goodson on the Fields Foods thing, and he's agreed to send us some financial statements and things that we can look at to help determine where to go from here. You know, we really don't have any, that's the one we don't have any collateral to speak of, but we have his personal guarantee.
And Madam Chair, you
Hopefully
also
we
stressed
can
that he
work
did not
something
want.
out. Daryl, has he sent the information in yet?
No, he has not, but if you want also remind the board that he just stressed that he does not want to have to file for bankruptcy.
Right. He doesn't want to file for personal bankruptcy, so he does, you know, he wants to work something out. So we're going to get the numbers we need so we can hopefully come to some agreement with him on some kind of repayment plan.
Okay.
And, you know, he seemed sincere in the meeting.
How much we writing off with him?
I think it's 100 and
108.
Or how
108.
much do you owe us, I should say. We're not writing him off yet, right?
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. It's 108 is what we're taking off the books. That's correct.
That's the
108,
principal.
213.49.
Madam Chair, do you want to tell him about that he sold the building for a $2 million loss, which you took a personal note against?
Yeah. The H.E. Still University bought the Fields Foods building for future expansion and, you know, to have a buyer. And it was something that the original mortgage lender agreed to, but he had to take back a personal note for the difference. So he owes on that still.
What's he doing now? Anything?
He's, you know, trying to get back into development. He wants to keep doing, you know, the things like he did for City Hospital, or he's a part of that group that's trying to do something with Cleveland High School. But you know, I don't think I have not heard that they have a viable plan or have been approved as the official developer. And I don't know that that's likely that they will be. But that's what he's working on, those kinds of things. But he's, you know, sold off a lot of property, the buildings on Park that he owned.
Tough business.
To reduce that. It is.
And he indicated he injected 1.8 million of his own money into the business.
Well,
I mean, there's not much we can do until we see the numbers and try to come up with something that's realistic in asking him to pay. You know, if he declares bankruptcy, we won't get anything.
Right.
I don't have any other updates on any of the others. Nothing that's not written there.
When we do this and we do get some collection, what's the deal on interest? Is it stacking up? Do we waive it? How does that handled? I'm curious because I'm not in banking and I don't exactly know how this is handled.
Yes, we do apply everything we get to outstanding principal. We basically, the interest stops.
Okay.
I can't say in the banking world, the interest would accrue.
Would accrue.
Yeah.
That I did know, but I wasn't sure how we handled it. I thought maybe we were a little nicer. I don't know if that's the right word, but obviously in most of these situations and what we just heard from Freddie Lee, he's got some challenges. If I'm going to buy his sauce, I'm going to Schnucks. I'm not going to Deer Park.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Or I'd recommend going to the Soulard Farmers Market since you can get it
Even
directly
better.
from him.
Even
Yeah.
better. That's right. He gets to keep more of the money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, so now we're on to update on the SBA 504 loan program and other activities. Zach?
Yeah, so right now we have a little over 5.4 million in loans that we're working on closing. We kind of with today with Playtime Academy, we'll hopefully be closing that one pretty soon, and we're working on another, the personal space fitness, as far as the 504 loan, trying to get that one closed here pretty soon as well. And then kind of looking forward into our next board meeting, I'll be bringing back the Kingsway development items for you all to reapprove, since they're getting close to having the occupancy permit, which should come up in October, to present to you all to hopefully get that then also over the finish line and off of our pipeline into the funded loans. Happy to answer any specific questions that anybody has about any of our pipeline.
All right, then we were going to get an update on the SBA loans and the information. If you remember, several months ago, we had that letter we had to sign on to from the SBA after they did their audit, which showed that we were delinquent in getting information about insurance and some other things. And so they provided us, I think the last 2 pages are some updates on the risk ratings and the insurance coverage. Linda, did you want to comment on this?
The sheets that we gave you with the board materials is what was sent into SBA last week. We did have a conversation with the person at SBA, and I think they just wanted to check back to be sure that we were working on these items, and we have been, and we're trying to do a better job of tracking them and doing things on an annual basis.
You mentioned when we had the original letter that you were in the process of putting our loans onto some kind of database that you have.
Yes, we have Ventures is the name of the software that we use. So there is a way to set up ticklers for all these items when they come due.
Right.
That's what we're, after I got all the information last week, that's what I'm trying to do, is put in all the insurance informations. The risk ratings are in there. I think part of the problem with the insurance, our address had changed a couple times, so we've tried to get that, updated with all the insurance
Sure.
companies, and so we should be in better shape going forward.
Okay, so do we have everything? I mean, do we expect to have all this in that tickler system shortly? A week, 2 weeks, a month?
Yeah. A lot of it's already in there. I just need to go back and check it and be sure. So we're fine with that.
Okay, because I don't like being on the SBA's nasty list, even if it's just for a few things. We're better off if we can keep them happy.
Well, we tried to do that too, but I would imagine probably every CDC that they were monitoring had problems with this insurance. It's just pretty hard to get it all the time, but we're trying.
Yeah,
Have we run into that situation with the SBA before? You know, that really aggravates. You know, it's a situation, you're all working hard, making things happen, and yet you got, I guess, the auditors types that come in and beat up on you, you know?
yeah, but you
Um,
gotta keep the back office stuff in line. There's, they don't really take excuses.
No, well,
Hopefully, we're close to being into a system where at least we get the updates and the notices when something is coming due. Give us a heads up so that we can get on it sooner than later. Did anybody else have any questions on those SBA updates? If not, is there anything else to be brought today? Hearing nothing, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Bleep.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all
Keep
in
up the good
favor?
work, guys. We appreciate y'all.
Okay, we all say aye. Let's go.
Aye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.